Hunters of the New World, welcome back. While I'm working on a new build video, I thought I'd provide some tips from what I've learned from the game and beta for those of you just starting. I got a few questions on my last stream, so here are a quick few things, just something you should keep in mind as you continue the grind, especially if you're starting out. So jumping right in, number 1, craft a bag when you can. You do get one for free when you do the first few story quests. It adds 50 slots to your inventory, or 50 white spaces more accurately. But the faster you get the higher upgrades, the more you can gather outside before you become encumbered. It doesn't cost too much, but the biggest cost is the faction rune of holding, which at the lowest level costs 1,000 faction coins and 200 gold. But using this, you can craft a bag that adds 100 more spaces. So pretty key early on. As you get on to later on at level 30 and level 45, you can add even more bags to increase your inventory space. Because of this, I do suggest that you focus on weapon grinding and picking your builds first before power leveling skills. It'll be easier to power level skills with bigger bag slots so that you can carry more and grind more efficiently. Now speaking of faction coins, this brings me to tip number 2, which is to consistently keep working on faction quests where you can buy these items. Always have these quests in your quest log, and whenever you set out for gathering or hunting from a town, make sure you have the quest nearby that you can go to or plan to go to, or at least it's on your path to where you need to grind. It's very easy, and trust me, I've done this before, that you can just ignore these and go and hunt or go and gather wanting to raise your skill, but then you'll come back and be like, well, I have no currency. Damn. So yeah, it costs me a bunch of extra time, so for you guys, definitely make sure you're doing these quests and have them in your quest log at all times. Number 3, store your items in a fairly populated town, or at least a town with your faction. You'll want to avoid needing to travel to farther towns just to sell or craft items, and being in a town with your faction, you will get a discount on the taxing rates, which are again set by the controlling company of the region. Now remember, these are real people, it's not AI controlled, so definitely explore all the starting areas in your server to see which one has the best rates and a fairly good population size. As the game develops, prices are going to vary as supply and demand is going to change throughout the day, throughout the weeks, throughout the months. So definitely keep an eye on the market here, see what days of the week or what times of the day things are selling for better prices. Say for example on Fridays when everyone gets off work, maybe there's an influx of players, not enough demand, prices are going to go up, that's your time to sell. The one other thing I will point out about towns as well is to see what stations they have upgraded. Some companies will focus on certain trade skills first over others, so one town might have a tier 3 cooking station versus your hometown. You'll want to store your cooking items then in that town because eventually you're going to want to cook things at higher tier stations, and you don't want to be limited by the company controlling your town or your starting town. So rounding out tip number 3, be sure to store things in the appropriate towns to make sure you're taking advantage of the utilities in that town. Number 4, for beginners, a really quick one, unequip the shield. At the start, once you change weapons, not all weapons will use the shield, and it does add a weight to your character, but a lot of people I've seen have forgotten that the shield was even there because at the start of the game, it forces you to add it onto the sword and shield class. This game does use 2 different weight systems, so character weight determines your mobility in combat, including your ability to roll evade versus sidestepping, and this is solely determined by just the armor that you're wearing, including the shield. Inventory space seen on the right determines how much you can carry in your pouch when you're outside, and that is extended by the bags we measured in tip number 1. Number 5 here is a quick one as well. Be sure to collect the resources from the town every hour. These are just simple things like milk and water and honey, extra resources that you can get for free just to either sell or use for cooking to level up your skills. Additionally, if you're in a town with your aligned faction, you can access the faction supply crates, which are once per day and they're set by the controlling faction on what they are. They give a little extra materials, nothing super big, but there's extra materials if you need it, right? Saves you a little bit of time. Number 6, and one of the biggest things I'm always pushing, do not grind for materials without food buffs. Get your food buffs first. It is a complete waste of time if you're just going out there and mining or logging or harvesting without food buffs. Food buffs have a chance to increase your luck so that you get more rare items and you get extra items as well. So the earlier you start using these, the faster you can get these items to craft higher tier weapons. And then after that, you can start selling them on the market for extra gold. Especially if you're watching this video and playing this game in the first few weeks of launch, getting those materials, those rare materials quicker and selling them, you're going to get the highest prices because everyone is looking for them right now to craft their weapons. Number 7, use your camp to rest and heal up, but also craft food and quick materials, especially if you're near a town that is not owned by your faction. Towns do charge taxes for crafting, but in the camps, that's all of your stuff and you pay nothing extra. So be sure to take a look at what you can craft in your camp and use it as much as you can to save a little bit of money here and there. Using your camps outside as well when you're out gathering and hunting is also key because you can use it to rest up and heal. That'll save you some resources instead of constantly using food and potions, which you can then save for bigger battles. The one thing I will note here is that camps can be upgraded through leveling your regular character. As you level up, you will receive upgrade quests to complete to rank up the camps, which will allow you to craft the higher tier items. Final point here, pick 2 weapons by the time you reach level 20. Respecking stats is free up until level 20, so keep trying some weapons, but the faster you can pick 2 weapons and start focusing on them, the better. Your attributes can be rearranged anytime you want up until level 20, but the time you put into a weapon is lost. So if you decide on 2 weapons earlier, you can start focusing on those much faster. If you waste your time and put a lot of time into a weapon up until level 15 and then say you don't want it, that time is lost. Those respec points are gone into the weapon and you can't respec into another weapon. You gotta put more time back into a new weapon. I have felt compared to the beta as well, the full release, the weapon upgrades are a lot slower. It will take some time. You're going to need to find time to invest in the skills and abilities of each weapon that you're using. So I'm sure there's a lot of different combination of weapons that you can use, and it also depends on the team and the company and the group that you're playing with. I'm going to be putting out some builds as well, and I'm sure other creators have already put out some, so be sure to check them out. Final tip bonus. You can click Alt plus H to remove the HUD so you can take a nice picture. I didn't know about this for the first 7 hours that I played the game. Yeah, that is all guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If any of this was helpful, please leave a like or comment below on the video. It would be much appreciated. And also let me know if there's anything you want me to take a look at or any features that you're curious about. Let me know in the comments below. I'll be happy to explore or let you know. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys have a great time in New World. Stay safe, be happy, and keep hunting. Scott Sensei is out.